That's a good one. Got him.
Look at those beautiful Lake Almanor bass.
It's one of the most beautiful places you can fish.
But this is your champion, Lake Almanor.
This is the second stop of the BAM Pro Tour in beautiful Lake Almanor. Here's how the series plays out. It's quality against quantity. For the first 2 days, anglers are qualifying for the championship Sunday by catching the highest number of bass over 14 inches, or the heaviest 5 bass limit. Only 5 anglers from both columns advance.
Day one, Lake Almanor, it's gonna be phenomenal. We got a little tiny breeze this morning. Anybody that's planning on, sight fishing might have a little bit of a challenge this morning, but go out and catch some big brown fish and hope for the best. So
I've been looking forward to getting back to this lake for about a year now. I've been on this lake 2 different days, and it's an amazing fishery. It's a lot of fun. These smallmouth, they hit it and they hit it hard, and they're chunky. So I'm excited to be here.
Low light right off the get-go. They usually have a traditional morning wind, down canyon breezes on the lake. I'm probably going to start off throwing reaction baits. So everything on this side of the boat is going first, and then once the sun gets up a little bit and things start clearing up, I'll probably go to down baits, looking for probably some bedfish, just standing on the power pole move and just moving out. I'll be looking for fish.
This format's super exciting. I think with the quantity and quality side of it, it really makes a super interesting, it puts a super interesting twist on things. And I'm just excited to get out there and see how it works for me.
Yeah, super excited to be on Lake Almanor. This is kind of one of my favorite fisheries we visit on these Pro Tour events. Perfect venue for this 30 boat field. A lot of really nice sized smallmouth in here. 4 to 5 pounders are not too uncommon. So I'm just hoping to land a couple of those, get a little bit of a leg up. Probably a bit of a transition going on in the water. This morning's in the low 60s, so I don't anticipate a ton of the fish are going to be spawning, but I'm certain there will still be some stragglers. Just got back from Yuma, Arizona. We fished Lake Martinez, got the wind down there. I'm just looking to try to back it up with another one.
We start day 1 of the BAM Pro Tour on Lake Almanor with Luke Johns, who is off to a quick start, reeling in his keepers on a mix of jerk baits, drop shots, and small swim baits.
Morning's been all right so far. It started off really bad. Started off literally shearing my entire prop shaft, so did not get to start where I wanted to, but pulled into this area and I've just been running down the bank and throwing a small swim bait and drop shot in a little Yamamoto scope shad, and I've been getting some bites doing that. So we've managed to catch 6 keepers so far, so honestly not a bad morning considering how we started the day. Bang. Bang, bang, Niner gang. No, I said that. I don't care about football. But been using the swim bait more so to just cover water really quickly, and then if I kind of get into an area where I notice some more fish on live scope, then I'll slow down and throw the drop shot in and try to, finesse them a little bit more. Yeah, so what I noticed this morning is, seems like these fish are kind of keying in on probably some pretty small bait in here. So I'm matching the hatch, just throwing a small, I think it's about a 1/4 ounce jig head. And then on the back of that, just throwing a 2.8 Kitech. And color of choice today has been electric shad, because that was the first one I grabbed. So I don't think the color necessarily matters, just something shady. But yep, just rigging that thing up real easy. That's all there is to it. A little tiny swim bait.
Bo Raymond Fletcher has 3 smallmouth already in his live well for a good start on Lake Almanor.
These aren't your typical smallmouth. And first of all, I was blown away the first fish I caught today, how literally small their mouths are. It's probably the smallest smallmouth I've ever seen, which was really interesting. But I've been watching some response to me putting presentations in front of them. I've been watching how they react, and they definitely are more hesitant and more aggressive than the river smallmouth I'm used to fishing for. So I've I wouldn't lie, I'm in my head a little bit. I'm trying to see if I need to give them something a little more finesse, give them something a little slower. But I'm also just still trying to figure out this lake. There we go. There we go.
Got it.
There we go. That felt good. There she is. See, just as I was saying, look at those little guys. Tiny little mouse. That is a beautiful fish. Woo! Okay. I needed that. I needed that.
Doesn't feel big yet. Need it to grow a little bit. Come on. It's not an impressive one, but you know. Might be lucky. Oh. 14 and 1/100th. That's all that matters. My exciting game plan for the rest of the day is to do exactly what I've been doing all morning. So I'm gonna just stick with the swim bait, throw the scope shad some more, and then, you know, kind of see where things take me. Hopefully I just run into a few more. Like I said earlier, can't really go anywhere very fast, so we're just gonna keep cruising down the bank and hopefully stumble into, you know, 7 or more.
Let's jump aboard with Nick Wood, who has 7 keepers log in on Tourney X so far. Nick is primarily sight fishing with a drop shot in the clear waters of Lake Almanor.
And then I came back down here and I ran I've basically just kind of been doing the circle. That little guy.
Did you find any at the swamp?
I left there too early. I wanted to go down there and throw top water first thing in the morning, and I left before the sun really had gotten up too high. And I came back down here and I caught a pretty good one. It might be 4 pounds, I don't know. It's a pretty solid fish on a swim bait this morning. And then I pushed that for as long as I felt like I could push it. I just wasn't getting enough bites.
Yeah.
So as soon as the sun came up, I started kind of looking for bedfish. They're not super duper big, but I'm keeping my momentum, you know, the numbers are, keep my number count up a little bit. At least better than what I was doing with the swim bait anyhow.
Right.
Whew. Turn the mouth.
Nice.
Mark Pilgrim has had this event marked on his calendar all year long. The hometown angler has a chance to show out in front of his friends and family on Lake Almanor.
It was just, it was bedded. It was actually, I came across it earlier and it was really spooky. And as soon as I pulled up on it, it took off and never came back. And I fished down a little ways and then turned around and came back. As soon as I pulled up on it, made a cast in there, she actually came up to my bait like she was gonna eat it on top, and then followed my bait back down and then left. The second time I threw in there, she came right in and just, you know, and ate it. So I knew she was gonna bite. That was a good one. We needed to get that one in the boat. I've been bouncing around all morning. I was throwing reaction this morning, but I'm actually throwing, I'm throwing an IMX Loomis. I'm throwing P-line braid right now with the white gets it, just a jig head. The fish don't seem to be line shy at all when they're on bed, so they'll eat almost anything as long as it's on their bed. So I'm going with 40-pound braid, and you know, as of this point, I haven't lost one or broke one off yet, so that's a good thing. You know, it's kind of weird. It's like 30 years in the making for me. You know, I've spent so many years watching the guys do this, and you know, always wished and hoped I could come out here and participate and be a part of it. And You know, I've had some losses this year with some family, and I wish that those guys were here to watch this and see me on my home water. It means the world to me. You know, this is just it's a dream come true, and I'm glad to be a part of BAM and the whole series, and you know, just super excited to get through the rest of the year too. I think it's going to be really fun. I'll be mad if this fish isn't 14 inches long. Oh, I must have got a hook in him that time. He's barely hooked. He's a smart little dude. Oh, that's a nice fish. Oh! Oh. He was barely hooked.
Oh, I heard you say that. That one would help?
Oh yeah.
I didn't quite see when it jumped.
Yeah, it was definitely a scoreable. I don't know if it would have.
About a 3.
It might not have cold, but it was definitely a scoreable. He was just barely hooked.
The action on Lake Almanor is just getting underway. Don't go anywhere, more fishing is right around the corner.
Randall and I want to talk to you real quick about choosing the right electronics mount for your bass boat.
And we know the quality and effort that Van Foster has put into this company.
So what you get is a custom fitted mount, not some mass produced universal mount for every bass boat out there.
Seat pedestal plugs, tool holders, steering wheel spacers, and battery trays are all made with the same attention to detail that Bass Boat Technologies is known for. Check them out at bassboattech.com. You'll be glad you did.
The newest addition to the Basscat STS family is here. Introducing the Caracal STS, showcasing aggressive styling paired with enhanced performance and a continued dedication to raising the bar. Measuring in at 20 feet 2 inches with an ultra-wide 96-inch beam and rated for a 250 to 300 horsepower engine, the Caracal STS boasts agility and speed and is finished with premium features to satisfy any angler. Basscat Boats. Feel the rush.
Tackle Warehouse has been the premier online tackle shop since 2003, with a huge selection of not only the latest and greatest from the biggest brands, but the hard-to-find regional specialties as well. Tackle Warehouse. Click, save, fish.
Welcome back to the action on the BAM Trail on Lake Almanor, presented by Bass Boat Technology and Tackle Warehouse. Let's get right back to the action. Ish Monroe is using a variety of baits, from crankbaits to drop shots, to boost his keeper count on the Tourney X leaderboard.
In the mouth.
Good one.
Yeah, but you can help. This bait. Told John to send me everything you got. Oh, dude, it's all across the country. This little drop craw. Beaver Lake, where it's tough to freaking get them to bite. Just like that. You see them, see the bed, line cast, leave it up there.
That one's not gonna help me. Might be a keeper though. Good little fighter. Yes, that'll get me another keeper, I think. You know, if you can, even if they're small, scoreable fish on days like this, day 1 and day 2 are what gets you to the final day. So I can go catch big ones on Sunday if I can get qualified. I just want to make sure I get in for sure. You know, this time of year when the fish are on beds, you've got to almost get your 5 fish for, you know, try and get that 16 to 17 pounds, and then manage your scorables to try and bump up your scoreable count and not catch too many of your bed fish that are around that 3 to 3.5 pound mark that really aren't going to help you. You don't want to catch those fish. A lot of times you got to go buy them, let them go, and save them for Sunday. So that's a tough thing to do, but you know, it's hard. It gets tough, you know, managing. You know, when you're thinking about it, a lot of guys look at Tourney X to see what they're, you know, the other guys are doing. I just am so adamant about not looking at that thing. I think it you know, it makes me fish faster, and I try and not look at it until the end of the day. That's my goal for the rest of the day and the rest of the weekend. Just going to keep plugging away and doing this and saving my big fish for Sunday. Hopefully I double qualify, and That way I don't have to worry about it. I'm in there for sure on Sunday, and then I can go put the hammer down and get this thing done.
It's now time for day one on Lake Almanor to come to a close and weigh in some bass in front of a packed crowd. Zach Thompson is up first.
His 5 fish go. 16.47. 16 point. Hold some of those fish up. Show them off to the crowd. Show them off to the cameraman. That puts him in first place right now. Zach loves being in first place.
Mark Pilgrim brought in a nice limit as well with 16.3 pounds. Ish Monroe is close behind in third place on weight with 16.09. And here's a look at the top 10 after day one. Zach Thompson leads the weight category with 16.47 pounds. Ish Monroe and Luke Johns hold the number one spot in keeper count with 12 scoreable bass. Coming up next, day two of the BAM Pro Tour presented by Bass Boat Technologies and Tackle Warehouse on Lake Almanor is right after this.
Champions fish with Garmin.
That's me, sweetheart.
Whoa! For the second year in a row, the Bassmaster Classic finishes with a cherry on top. Finally, Christie conquers the Classic. Yeah, 2024 is Hamner time.
Hey folks, pro bass fisherman Mark Lassane here. My garage was completely cluttered with outdoor gear, but then I discovered StoreQuest self-storage. Now check out my space. It's like my own personal oasis. All my fishing rods, my gear have a home away from home. With everything neatly organized, I can spend more time doing what I love. Thanks to my StoreQuest unit, I've decluttered my life and made room for adventure.
Bass Angler Magazine brings you more. If you want to learn the latest techniques, win your next bass tournament, or simply catch more bass, then Bass Angler Magazine is for you. From California to Florida, finesse to frogging, Bass Angler Magazine is jam-packed with how-to information from the world's best pros. Published every season, Bass Angler Magazine is crammed with fresh new articles designed to help anglers of all levels learn more and catch more bass. Sign up at bassanglermag.com today. Bass Angler is also available at Tackle Warehouse, Bass Pro, Cabela's, or for your mobile device at the Apple newsstand.
Welcome back to the BAM Pro Tour presented by Tackle Warehouse and Bass Boat Technologies. It's day two on Lake Almanor, and that makes it cut day. Only the top 10 qualifying anglers will move on and fish for one more day. What will it take to fish on Championship Sunday?
Everything's going good. I'm looking, I feel optimistic for today. There's a little bit of wind that's supposed to come up this afternoon, so we'll see how that, how that affects the fishing. Yesterday it was just slick calm, and you're able to look around and see bedfish, and that's primarily what I'm doing is sight fishing. So I'm gonna have to change areas up because the areas that I'm fishing I think is gonna get a lot of wind. So I'm gonna run around in the morning and try to throw some top water. I threw it a lot yesterday, didn't get nothing on it, but I know this time of the year you can get a lot of top water bites. So that's my goal: throw top water, some swim baits in the morning, and then go look for some slick water and see if I can't sight fish some fish. And I feel okay. I wish I had a little bit better. Yesterday I ended up hooking 12 fish and I landed 8 of them. Hopefully that doesn't come back to haunt me. So I'm in an okay spot as far as trying to make the cut. So that's my goal, is just go out and get as many fish as I can today and just keep looking, trying to find a pattern that's going to work. I don't know if these bedfish are going to hold up to win the event. I think it's going to be something that can get you into the final day, but I don't think it's going to be enough to win the tournament. So I'll just see what I can find out this morning and just keep scratching and try to figure out something.
we're sitting in a good position after day one. I believe we're sitting in third place. We had the big weight yesterday, but I had a dead fish, so it dropped me down a little bit. Really gonna have to mix things up today and do some different stuff. We're gonna run out there and try and get on some topwater fish. We know we didn't get a topwater bite yesterday, but I think today with the change in the weather, we're gonna be sitting in a really good position to be able to get on some really good ones. So the west wind's gonna start blowing, I think about 11 o'clock, which for me, that works. The west wind never blew yesterday, and I wasn't able to get into the spots that I wanted to get to really fish. So I think today is gonna work to my favor. Guys are gonna struggle a little bit. The fish got a lot of pressure. The guys that were catching bedfish, I think they plucked the ones that they had yesterday, and they might struggle a little bit today. So we're gonna go out there and see if we can get it done.
As the BAM Pro Tour anglers race to their starting spots in the morning, we head over to Ish Monroe, who leads the field in keeper counts after day one.
So down the stretch is these little outcroppings. And they just kind of get set up on them. And that's why you see me throwing outwards. And I think those are the staging fish moving in. Those outcroppings come up to about 7 up here, and they're about 12 out there. And they're just look like little jetties. Got it. Sometimes they do bite when you just see them. We're gonna play the numbers game today. And then tomorrow, we're only gonna stop on 3 pluses because they're not all super easy to catch. Number 1. And he was just kind of cruising around. He probably wasn't on a bed, just maybe in the area.
As Ish Monroe makes his first move of the morning, let's turn to the local pro, Mark Pilgrim, who is keying in on bedfish.
That thing fell down and hit her right in the back. She's gonna grab it. Oh. Yeah, that's a nice fish. It's probably 3.5. A little bigger than I thought it was. The bed's back there on the back side of that rock. Oh. Oh yeah, that's what we need. Inside the mouth, just the way you want them. Fish was a little bigger than we thought, huh? Yeah, about 2 3/4, maybe 3 pounds.
Like other anglers, Conrad Demekas has been primarily targeting bedfish this tournament weekend.
It's a little trick I like to do when bed fishing. I'll take a white, beaver style bait. What you can actually do is just cut it right down the middle. Right down the middle. Now you got 2 bed baits. So that's a nice little trick, especially with smallmouth. You can put a little drop shot hook up the front of that, and you got 2 baits out of one. So that's what I've been doing here for most of them. But this guy's being a little tricky, so we're gonna have to pull out all the stops on this guy. Usually I'll put just a regular nose hook up the front of it. I've been threading it just because I like the hookup ratio on it, and they're sight fish, so they don't really seem to care. So that's what I've been doing. Got him. Yes, sir. All right. Finally. Not a bad one, probably about a 2.5 pounder. Whew. Little change of baits right there. You saw we went from the white bait to the little depths bull flat. That is a money little smallmouth bait. All right, good work.
Zach Thompson is on the hunt for the right fish as he tries to hang on to his day one lead.
So I'm just poking around. I'm just throwing drop shot and a Ned rig to fish to areas that look like there's fish spawning deeper than you can see. So I just kind of have to go down the bank, and when I come into an area that looks right, I throw my drop shot. I just had one follow jerk bait, but I'm just trying to, I'm not really doing any specific thing other than just trying to fish where I think fish are spawning. And there's not very many left, so the pickings are very slim in terms of fish that you can actually see on beds. I feel like I can catch fish, I just have to find some of the right ones again, but I just want to make it till tomorrow and then go from there. Stay on. Stay on. Stay on. Yeah, that's a keeper. Stop. Stop. In the mouth. That's a keeper. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nice. Beautiful little smallie. Add him to the box. It ate 3 or 4 times before I actually hooked it. And that's what they do when you don't see them too. Oh, there's another one. There's another one. He was down around a cable. Come here. Come here, don't do that. Another small one, but he'll count. In the mouth. Spear point hooks, man. Spear point hooks are no joke.
Oh yeah?
Oh God. You gotta use pliers. It's a little one, but he's keeper. Should be. Just barely. Any fish I lost today, I ended up catching again. They're all bed fish, you just can't really see them, which makes it nice because they could bite it again. But I'm just pitching my drop shot and my Ned rig around and looking for one big one. And if I get a big one, then I'm just gonna go explore, kind of assuming that I made it till tomorrow, but it's gonna be hard to say what happens. But I feel like this is the best chance to catch 16 to 18 pound bags, so just gonna keep after it and see how it ends up.
Got him. Right there. That's it. In the mouth. Finally went drop shot. Threw a little shaky head down there. Threw a green fly down there. A couple casts with the black fly. Yep. Not a big one, but in this format, keeper count, we'll take 2.5 pounders all day long. So they're both sight fish. One was a drop shot and one was this hair jig here. I had to, I snagged this guy on like our second cast, and then if you don't know how this works, if you can physically see the fish, it has to be hooked inside the mouth. So right off the bat, I could see the bait right by his gill plate, so I knew I had snagged him. Luckily, he got off before I got to him. So I kind of followed up with this hair jig here. Seemed a little gun shy by the drop shot, so a couple adjustments and we're good to go.
We're halfway through day 2 on Lake Almanor on the BAM Pro Tour presented by Bass Boat Technology and Tackle Warehouse. More action is right around the corner.
The news continues.
Right now, news moves fast, unlike anything we've seen before. So we have to be ready.
Ready to get it to you when it happens and with the smart context you need.
Dish customers can stream us live anytime, anywhere. With the Dish Anywhere app and the Fox News app, we're there.
With real news and real honest opinion, and it's all included in your Dish service, so you don't miss a moment.
With the Dish Anywhere app or the Fox News app, you can watch live breaking news anytime, anywhere.
Competitive anglers powered by Mercury Pro XS outboards have won more bass fishing tournaments than all other brands combined. With lightning-quick acceleration, legendary reliability, and lightweight design, Pro XS has everything you need to travel farther, faster, and harder.
It's the moment when everything is on the line and precision, power, and control make all the difference. A moment over 20 years in the making, anchored on loyalty, trust, and support that goes beyond all expectations. A relentless pursuit of perfection. All born from a revolutionary idea to help you rule the water. Power Pole.
Welcome back to the BAM Pro Tour on Lake Almanor. Day 2 of fishing is wrapping up soon. Jake Boomer currently has 10 keepers for the day and is going for quantity to get him in the top 10 cut.
I'm on the keeper train, and this is not going to be one. Yesterday I didn't have a fish in the boat at 11, and I just started fishing a little deeper, and I caught 8 keepers. And today I just started doing that. Even though the sun wasn't up, I just set out to do this light line, drop shot, scoping. I have only caught 3 shorts today, and I've got 10 keepers, which is kind of nice. I don't know what would have happened yesterday if I would have started a little earlier, looking a little bit deeper. I always try to start power fishing. I'd like to get those easy couple, but I think in my fishing career, I think I almost always end up with a spinning rod in my hand. I can't tell how big this one is, and I really don't want to break it off. But I don't think it's very big. I'm just kidding. I went lighter line just because the bite stunk. I mean, when you have no fish at, oh, come on. When you have no fish at 11 o'clock, you start doing really drastic stuff, you know what I mean? And one of those drastic things is, oh, it's 16 inches. What I think's going on this week is I think they're all on beds, but the water is higher than it's ever been, or it's been in a long time. And I think these fish didn't come up with the water, and I've seen that before with Clear Lake's a good example. The fish don't come up with the water. They just use their old stomping grounds. They stay on the old shoreline. I think that's what happened here. That's what happened to me. I tried getting up on the bank and trying to find stuff yesterday morning, and then I tried doing a bunch of different stuff, but when I started fishing the old shoreline, I started catching them. Most of the time, smallmouth at 4 or 5 feet around the spawn, they won't come up unless the bait comes up, but if they want to spawn, they'll stay on their beds, where their beds were last year. Got it.
Garmin Pro angler Bo Jodry has stumbled across another bedfish on Lake Almanor, and it's been a battle to get this one in the boat.
Okay. First cast with the other bait. So I did this yesterday, just like this. Let's see if I can get it in the boat this time. Got her. It's a hook.
The outside of mouth?
Well, my hook's in the inside.
Right. The other one was on.
The other one was on the outside of his eyeball. Oh, look at that. He ate the crap out of that thing.
He was ready.
We turn to Jim Vretzos, who was fishing with light line on a main lake point, trying to get another bite on the Tourney X leaderboard before the day ends.
Maybe he'll keep. He should keep, huh?
I think so. As long as his mouth's closed.
A little short. Finally caught one on camera. Ah! Yeah, I'm stoked.
That's a wrap for day 2 on Lake Almanor. It's time for the anglers to head into the docks and cut the field down to the top 10 anglers for Championship Sunday. Only the top 5 from total weight and the top 5 from keeper count will advance. Mark Pilgrim backs up his weight for day 1 and takes over the top spot with 32.21 pounds.
16-16, that's gonna be right up there. Yesterday he had 1591. He's gonna add to that with, oh man, I thought it was gonna be the same thing. You're gonna have 1589.
Both weight and keeper count are tight, and Conrad DeMecca safely makes the cut line with 31.8 pounds. Ish Monroe retains the top spot on the keeper count with 21 total bass over 2 days. Jake Boomer also caught 21 keepers to get him in the top 10 cut. Here's a look at the rest of the top 10 anglers fishing on Championship Sunday on Lake Almanor. It's a stacked list fishing one more day, and with weights resetting on the final day, it's going to be a tight race for the crown. Championship Sunday is next.
Hi, this is Josh McMurray. I'm the city manager for the city of Oakley. We're located on the Delta. We have a beautiful shoreline, and we really want to promote the city as the gateway to the Delta and showcase everything that we have to offer. We have a beautiful downtown that's expanding, brand new restaurants. What we're trying to do is build that brand to make sure that people know that you can come to Oakley and you can do everything that you want associated with the Delta, and you can still stay here, eat here, and have a good time in a very family-friendly and safe environment.
Tackle Warehouse has been the premier online tackle shop since 2003, with a huge selection of not only the latest and greatest from the biggest brands, but the hard-to-find regional specialties as well. Tackle Warehouse. Click, save, fish.
The newest addition to the Basscat STS family is here. Introducing the Caracal STS, showcasing aggressive styling, paired with enhanced performance and a continued dedication to raising the bar. Measuring in at 20 feet 2 inches with an ultra-wide 96-inch beam and rated for a 250 to 300 horsepower engine, the Caracal STS boasts agility and speed and is finished with premium features to satisfy any angler. Basscat Boats. Feel the rush.
Welcome back to the BAM Pro Tour, presented by Bass Boat Technologies and Tackle Warehouse. It's Championship Sunday on Lake Almanor with 10 of the best anglers in the West ready to battle it out for one more day. Weights have been reset. There's no keeper count. Only their best 5 matter. It's go time.
I've been able to, catch enough to make it into today, and that's always the goal. I think I'm going to scrap everything that I've been doing as far as location-wise for the past 2 days and just go fishing in areas that I haven't been to. Feel good. There was an earthquake this morning, so it always seems to mess up the fish. But hopefully it works out and we come in with a big bag.
I'm feeling great. We battled out for 2 days, made the top 10 on Sunday, so that's the goal, is to get to the final day. The weights are cleared today, so I'm going to go out and try to get 5 big bites today. I'm going to fish hard and go fish some new water. The areas that I've been fishing, I think, is getting a little bit burned up. So I've got a lot of experience here. I know some areas that can produce good weight. So I'm gonna run to those areas and see what happens. So it's anybody's game now. The weights are cleared, so everything that everyone's done in the last 2 days don't mean anything. So go out and see what we can do.
I did have some big ones on yesterday, so if everything goes correct, I think I could have 16, 17, 18 pounds. But it's a really tough bite, and if the conditions don't line up, these fish simply will not open their mouths. So fingers crossed that everything works out, and then I think it's gonna be 16, 17 pounds to take this thing.
It's Championship Sunday on Lake Almanor, and lines are officially in. Zach Thompson is looking for 5 big ones and redemption after falling short on Lake Martinez.
In years past here, I could catch a lot of reaction fish covering water, and I just can't get that to go this week myself. So I feel like the best chance is just trying to pick off those last bit of spawners that are here, because most of them tend to be pretty good size. So I'm not burning bank. And with the conditions we have with calm like this, I just feel like the best chance of catching 17, 18 pounds a day is catching bedfish. Oh, he's not that big. I thought he was bigger. Still worth catching. Oh! He wasn't as big as I thought. He looked like he was like 4, but he was only like 2.5, 3. Ay. Oh yeah, it's back. Chance number 2. This time I got a regular hook and he's already tired. Come on. He won't let me take him over there though. Oh, come here. Don't make me catch it 3 times. Oh, come on. Good God, that wasn't pretty. That was probably the ugliest landing I've ever done. Oh. Jeez Louise.
Lake Almanor native Mark Pilgrim gets day 3 started with a mix of topwater baits along with hunting for bedfish with a 1/4 ounce jig paired with a white gets it.
Here we go.
Kind of weird how lethargic it was, and it didn't want to bite, and then it just engulfed that thing. Number 1.
Championship Sunday on Lake Almanor was a busy morning for Colby Pearson as he quickly is able to reel in a solid limit of bass.
So this morning got off to a really quick start. We got a little bit of an early blast off today, having only 10 boats out here. We were able to blast off like 5:30 or even earlier. So I was able to capitalize in the first 30 minutes of kind of that gray light, and I caught a limit by 6:49 a.m. I actually took note of it because it was the fastest limit I've caught this week for sure. So I was culling fish by about 6:57 in the morning, low light conditions on mostly finesse gear. So yeah, I had my camera running and was able to stick some fish on that, and it was awesome.
As Colby reels in his morning bite, Hayden Lee works around docks along the Almanor Peninsula.
I just throw this 3/4 ounce swim bait just to fire them up a little bit. They bite it almost every time, but it's a little big for them. Yeah, usually I get them to bite at this a couple times, and then I throw that drop shot in there, and it's pretty effective. Got it. It's not quite as good as I thought, but I'll take it. Got her. In the mouth. What do you think that thing's been biting on? His mouth is so red. I mean, maybe they're just eating the crawdad, killing them so they don't eat their eggs. It must be, because look at its mouth.
He's been tearing things up.
Chewing it up.
I've seen hundreds and hundreds of fish turn away from my bait the last few days. So my first cast of this tournament, I started with 4 pound. Like just, yeah, I've stayed here the whole time. I've caught a few fish cranking each day, you know, but other than that, they're pretty much all on 4. I throw a lot of swim baits, but I'm kind of low key really into finesse fishing. And the lightest line I have on the boat's 3. The reason I tie a 30-foot leader is because I want my leader to be able to stretch. So a lot of guys tie 10 feet, but if you tie 10 feet of 4, it's just gonna break. So the longer the leader I tie, the more it can distribute that tension. I don't actually even know if it'll help. No, I don't think she's gonna help. I don't know if she's gonna help. I don't think so. I don't like to clip smallmouth because it obstructs their mouths and they can't breathe, so I never clip them. Yeah, sitting on a okay limit right now. I just need to go drive around, try to find 2 4-pounders. I'm not doing the bed fishing thing. A few guys are successfully, but I'm gonna stick to my guns. I know I'm throwing at a lot of 4-pound class fish, so I got a few hours left. I think I can run into a few, so fingers crossed.
Much like other anglers in the top 10, Jake Boomer is seeking bedfish, but has a different approach to them.
I'm fishing offshore beds that you can't see, and I didn't want to say too much about it yesterday, but I feel like the fish didn't come up with the water, and so anything that looks like a bed, I'm just fishing it. And I think because they got less pressure, they eat like, you just keep throwing at each one. You don't sit there and milk it. I can see the fish, sometimes I can't, but then it's thunk, and then they eat it, and you're like, all right, that fish hasn't been, like, those guys are working on the same fish that they've been working on since I pulled in. 360 and live scope. The 2 of them together are pretty important. The 360 shows you the shadows, and the live scope shows you the kind of the discoloration of the bottom. If I get out too deep, I can't catch them. Like if the water was 5 feet down, this is the beds you would see, and these are the fish you'd catch on those beds, is what I think's happening. That's a good one. I'm gonna feel really dumb that I spent all morning driving around chucking an A-rig. Because I should have just been doing this all day. Oh, she's a black one. She's not super big, but she'll help. She's fat. Look how fat that thing is. Give up. That's actually a really good one. Oh, come on. That's 3 1/4. A bunch of those would help out. That's a fresh one. Like that one just got up.
I need to put on a heavier weight so it'll stick down there. Got her. It's a nice one. Way bigger than I thought it was. Way nicer than I thought it was. All right, girl, you ready? Yep. Oh, I wrapped her perfect. Got it. See that? My line wrapped her up. Can't move like that. That's a nice one. 2 1/2 pounder.
Oh, don't do that. Slime ball. Had to give him the old football shuffle. Guess I know what I'm doing for the rest of the day. They're getting healthier too, like this one. Oh, she's not gonna let me grab her, but these fish are, I think they're kind of fresh coming up. Normally when they're just out of the deep, I don't think they have that. They got the spawning color going on. So my plan was to go throw big baits, because everybody says that. I've watched enough weigh-ins. I just was going for broke and I was gonna throw big baits all day. And I did that for 3 hours this morning. But the way I got to the final day was fishing offshore beds. And so I did it for 10 minutes and caught one and then caught another one. So it's in my plan. So if I tank this tournament, at least I went down doing what got me here. So, but I had a 3 1/4 there doing this exact thing. The first day of the tournament, I got a 420 or 440, 460 something. So they're out there. I feel like they're kind of moving up a little bit. But we had another earthquake again. So I bet you guys can't figure out, like, find your Bassmaster magazine that has the pattern for post-earthquake, because I don't have that.
Lines out. It's time for the top 10 anglers to weigh in one more time on Lake Almanor. We crown a champion right after this.
Randall and I want to talk to you real quick about choosing the right electronics mount for your bass boat.
And we know the quality and effort that Van Foster has put into this company.
So what you get is a custom fitted mount, not some mass produced universal mount for every bass boat out there.
Seat pedestal plugs, tool holders, steering wheel spacers, and battery trays are all made with the same attention to detail that Bass Boat Technologies is known for. Check them out at bassboattech.com. You'll be glad you did.
Hey folks, pro bass fisherman Mark Lassane here. My garage was completely cluttered with outdoor gear, but then I discovered StoreQuest self-storage. Now, check out my space. It's like my own personal oasis. All my fishing rods, my gear, have a home away from home. With everything neatly organized, I can spend more time doing what I love. Thanks to my StoreQuest unit, I've decluttered my life and made room for adventure.
Bass Angler Magazine brings you more. If you want to learn the latest techniques, win your next bass tournament, or simply catch more bass, then Bass Angler Magazine is for you. From California to Florida, finesse to frogging, Bass Angler Magazine is jam-packed with how-to information from the world's best pros. Published every season, Bass Angler Magazine is crammed with fresh new articles designed to help anglers of all levels learn more and catch more bass. Sign up at bassanglermag.com today. Bass Angler is also available at Tackle Warehouse, Bass Pro, Cabela's, or for your mobile device at the Apple Newsstand.
Welcome back to the BAM Trail, presented by Bass Boat Technologies and Tackle Warehouse. This is the final day on Lake Almanor, and it's almost time to crown a champion. After 3 tough days of fishing, it all comes down to this moment. Lake Almanor presented a tough challenge for some anglers on the final day, with weights dropping off somewhat. However, others managed to overcome the difficult conditions and performed well. Among them was one of the youngest pro anglers, Hayden Lee, who secured a 14-pound limit of bass.
Great weight up here.
Jake Boomer is up next, looking to take the hot seat.
You got to go because he's got 15.29. Let's hold some of these fish up real quick. Let's give it up. Get loud. Get rowdy for right here, Mr. Zach Thompson. see 1579. I'll show off some of those fish.
This week at Almanor, all I did was fish for fish that were spawning. I just couldn't see them. So I figured out what the fish were spawning on. It's kind of pea gravel mixed with boulders on flats. And when I'd find the right combination, there would be fish there. And I'd just pitch. I was throwing a little 4-inch robo worm with a spear point GP Finesse size 2 nose hook, and if I'd find the right area, I'd just pitch around on all the spots that looked like they were clean gravel, and fish would pick it up and swim off. And I did not lose a fish all week that I didn't re-catch.
As the domino of anglers continues to fall, we come down to the final 3. Ish Monroe is up next.
Have a seat with 16 pounds even, right there.
Today, the last day I caught a couple good ones right off the crankbait, had a couple follow the crankbait, but I did catch them on the drop shot, and the drop shot that I was throwing was also for the sight fish, and that was the Missile Baits bomb shot and the Missile Baits drop craw, which they don't make the drop craw anymore, but Missile Baits makes a bunch of great baits, and it's just perfect for smallmouth fishing.
Next up is Colby Pearson, looking for a chance at going back-to-back on the BAM Pro Tour.
And he's 1601. 1601 gives him that seat right there. 1601 gets you a seat, and you did it with 1652 right there. Put some of those down there, hold some of those fish up.
It comes down to this. One more angler to weigh in. The hometown hero, Mark Pilgrim.
We're gonna put them fish on that scale. You need 1653. He needs 1650. I'm not even gonna let him see it. You have a new champion. And his name is Colby Pearson. We have 1529 up here.
Getting the win at Lake Martinez was my first Pro Tour win, so to go back-to-back, I know I was the only person who had the kind of opportunity to do that, so I definitely took it really serious. I fished my butt off all week. One of my best friends passed away. I got the news on the drive down, I can't remember what day. But you know, I was fishing for him, and to get the win, I dedicated it to him. So Miles Hansen, got this win for you, man. Wish you were still here. I felt really confident this week going in and fishing behind people. I knew that the fish would be pretty pressured. They all ended up being pretty pressured regardless, but I was using 4-pound line, and it definitely assisted me in getting some more bites. I know for a fact guys were leaving on the table. So at about 1:45 or 2 in the afternoon, I caught 2 fish that culled me a good amount pounds. So they got me from the 13 range up to about 1652, I think is what I weighed. So yeah, at that point in time, I knew I had an opportunity. It would just take a few guys maybe slipping up and leaving the door open for me to do it, but secured a solid bag and got her done, man.
At the end of the day, we are up against the greatest anglers on the West Coast.
Next time on the BAM Pro Tour presented by Bass Boat Technology and Tackle Warehouse, our top anglers take on the mighty Columbia River in Oregon. You won't want to miss this.
Spencer Lazar here to explain why you need Eternal Lithium batteries in your boat. The cost of our batteries over their life is a fraction of dead acids or AGMs, providing 5 times the power at 1/3 of the weight. We use a high-quality Bluetooth BMS and grade A cells, giving us the confidence to offer a 12-year industry-leading warranty. Eternal Lithium provides peace of mind that you've got reliable, reserve power to keep you safe and give you a chance to win. Contact us now for a free power consultation.
Champions, fish with Garmin.
That's me, sweetheart.
Whoa! For the second year in a row, the Bassmaster Classic finishes with a cherry on top. Finally, Christie conquers the Classic. Yeah, 2024 is Hamner time.
Hi, this is Josh McMurray. I'm the city manager for the city of Oakley. We're located on the Delta. We have a beautiful shoreline, and we really want to promote the city as the gateway to the Delta and showcase everything that we have to offer. We have a beautiful downtown that's expanding, brand new restaurants. What we're trying to do is build that brand to make sure that people know that you can come to Oakley and you can do everything that you want associated with the Delta, and you can still stay here, eat here, and have a good time in a very family-friendly and safe environment.